better smile for that camera.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I'm supposed to be looking.
I never want to hear anyone say that you cannot be homosexual and have a relationship with God. You can't have both. That's wrong. That is false, because my whole journey to figuring out who I am was with God. Like, literally, I was like, come on, man, like, I need you to come here, hold my hand, and be here for every question that I have, and help me answer it. My first experience with, like, homosexuality versus religion on this campus was one of my friends telling me about her brother that got kicked out of the school because he was found out, because they found out that he was gay. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I didn't realize that signing on to a Christian school, that this kind of stuff was happening. There was always, like, shit that happened in movies to me that wasn't real. And then when I came into myself and I admitted who I was, you know, and I told my parents and everything like that, it was an immediate, because I didn't even think about it. I didn't even bat an eye. Like, are you really going to deny me my education because I like women? Like, sorry, I don't understand that. And my parents were like, do you want to switch schools? Let's switch schools. Let's find someone, or like some place that accepts you wholeheartedly. And I said, no, like, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna believe what I believe, and you know, we'll let the rest fall into place. I had some gay hall suite mate people that I don't know, whoever you want to talk about, but they kind of brought in the question of, like, homosexuality, and I was like, never thought that before. Like, women are beautiful, don't get me wrong, always thought that. But they lived together, the two girls, they lived together, and it was probably 3 rooms down from me. And, you know, Quest Week happened, and those girls at Quest Week were very mean to me once they found out that I was a Catholic New Yorker, and they never talked to me again, so it's okay. So we became friends, and I was just, like, always there. I was always in their room, and after a few weeks, they finally were like, hey, we're gay. And I was like, oh, what? Why are you telling me this? Like, we're at a Christian school. And then I was like, wait, why do I care about this? And then I realized it's because they both liked me, and they both talked about liking me, and then they told me. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of knowledge just, like, thrown into existence. And I was very, very flattered, obviously, but I was like, why me? Because it was like all of my friends and all of my dorm mates, like, we would all go pile in their room and just, like, watch movies and, like, all sit on the bed, and everything just kind of started being different, because, like, I would always situate myself between the two girls. Like, we would all just, like, just sit there and watch movies, and it just never was the same. And I think it got into my head really quick that, like this is a world that I've never really been in. This is a position I've never really been in. And even though I've seen it, I've never experienced it. And, like, it was weird because I wasn't upset about it. I was just more uncomfortable, and I didn't know why, because it's like, people like people all the time. But this made me just a little more uneasy, because it started bringing up the way that I look at females. And I started getting really peevy and, like, weird and kind of rude and standoffish, because I was uncomfortable with the feelings that they were making me feel by them being so open and honest, because it was a part of me that I didn't want to open up to yet. I remember I was laying outside with one of them, just, like, in the grass, and I was just talking to her, and I was like, well, how did you know? Like, why did you tell me? Like, why? And she just said, like, I'm waiting for you to figure that out, Kaylee. I'm waiting for you to figure out why we both like you and why we think that it's okay that we told you. And I didn't know that that was her telling me until, like, 5 months later, where I kind of just, like, went into myself for a while, because I'm an internal processor. That's what I do. And, like, 4 or 5 months later, I was just like, okay, I think I'm gay. And then I started all of my research. Like, I literally was like, am I normal? Can I still believe in God and have this relationship? Like, I literally researched articles. I watched like coming out videos and testimonials and all the stupid nerdy things that like you would never do about your homosexuality, but like I did, just to be like, okay, like there's no way, this isn't me. Like I was trying to prove myself wrong, and it just never happened, because everything that they said, I was like, yes, okay, I relate to that. And then I just started telling people and figuring out if I was like 100% lesbian or like just on the girl train for a little bit. But then very quickly I knew that 100%, yeah.
It took me this long to realize I do not need a man.
My first experience with Lipscomb Theater was my freshman year, because you have to take like an LU seminar class, right? And so I did, I forget what the class is called. It was a theater something with Mike Fernandez, and we went and we watched plays and we reviewed them, and we got to like analyze musicals, and it was everything that I wanted. And I became friends with so many people in the theater, and it didn't end there. I mean, when I was in the music department, not that I didn't feel loved, I did, but it was a different type of family in the theater department. You could just tell that they really cared about everyone. And well, and then I found out that there's so many people like me, quote unquote, in the theater world, and that also was very welcoming of them, because I wasn't judged. I was completely accepted. I mean, these are the people that I came out to, and I didn't get any hate, any judgment. I mean, I almost feel like if it weren't for the theater department, I wouldn't have been able to stay here at Lipscomb. Me being me and coming to the realization of who I am, because this is the most beautiful little bubble that I've ever existed in. Because I get to come in here like belches flying out of my mouth, like wearing no makeup and sweatpants, even though I'm usually like so freaking feminine and like not really give a care. I can like talk however I want, and I can say what's on my mind, and I can be a lesbian, and it's not an issue. It's not a question. It's not a label. I'm just Kaylee. But anywhere else on this campus, I'd be Kaylea Frezza, the Yankee lesbian who is raised in a Roman Catholic church. You know, it's not labels here. It's family. We're family, whether we like each other or not. You know, like we're kind of stuck together. So yeah, like they did that for me. They helped me. I like being me here, and I like being able to take me anywhere, whether it's on the stage or in my dance class or into the office to go talk to a teacher. And I like exploring that even in my art, because they allow me to do that with no questions asked.
This department, you know, when I started here, I was an adjunct, so I've only been in a leadership position here for 4 years. But we have always tried to be a safe place for any person, because there are a lot of different personalities and sexual orientations and religions and everything at play here in the arts. But artists are by nature generally sensitive people. The reason that we tell stories about people over and over around here is because, you know, we want to build our empathetic skills. It's really about seeing things from new perspectives all the time. And so that's the stories we're telling in the classrooms or on the stage and things like that, is to how do we embrace people who may be different from us, who have different viewpoints or religion or all those kinds of things. You know, how do we embrace them and not be afraid just because somebody's different than perhaps our background or something like that. So that's really been the key element to Kaylee here, is we try to be an inclusive environment. And, you know, I wasn't there kind of on the ins and outs of her coming out to her, you know, peers around here, but we've always just seen her as a person at the end of the day. You know, everybody here, you know, we're all together to tell stories and to love each other, and not to get bogged down in part, a singular part of a person, but just to see people as whole, full people that bring a lot to every opportunity.
For people who are afraid to ask themselves those questions, just fucking do it, because if you don't do it now, you never will. College is the time to find out who you are, and if Lipscomb doesn't accept you, then you're supposed to be somewhere else, and that's okay. And that is where God comes into play. Like, everything will happen for a reason. Like, you are you, and he designed you that way. I don't care what anyone else says. And I think you need to own it. I think that's why I'm like that fucking out loud and proud lesbian, because I know in my heart that this is exactly who I was supposed to be. And I know that I was supposed to meet the people that I did here, and be affirmed in that way, and go through the struggles with my family, because everyone does. Like, nothing is ever the way that you want it to be, but like, it's okay, and it will get better, and you have a voice, so fucking use it, because if you don't, like, others will use it for you, and I don't know anyone that would want that. And I don't mean you have to go stand on top of the bison after you paint it the rainbow colors on National Coming Out Day and scream that you are loud and proud, fiercely gay, but I'm saying, don't be afraid to be you, because I was so afraid for so long, and I don't have any questions about me anymore because I know me. And when you allow yourself to ask those questions and answer them, then you know. And you shouldn't let any religion, any people who have other opinions that don't coincide with yours, let you change. Regardless, there's going to be hate, there's going to be conflict, but you can't help that. And you're a better human